What up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Friday, January 26, 2018, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Tom Cruise joined Instagram Thursday and used his first post on the social media platform to unveil the official title of Mission Impossible 6. The actor said, "Get ready," alongside a photo of an on-set slate board that included a logo for Mission Impossible Fallout. The action-packed sequel is set to arrive in theaters on July 27th. Cruise also posted a second photo of himself performing a stunt from the movie, which involves the 55-year-old hanging off the side of a helicopter. He says, "We upped the ante for the 6th Mission Impossible. I can't wait for you guys to see more." Mission Impossible Fallout from director Christopher McQuarrie will also feature series stars Ving Rhames, Jeremy Renner, Simon Pegg, and Rebecca Ferguson. Superman star Henry Cavill also has a role in the film. Amanda Seyfried and Dominic Cooper reunite as Sophie and Sky in the new trailer for Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again, which is set for theatrical release July 20th. Chock full of ABBA pop hits and released in 2008, the first movie musical in the franchise took place as the characters prepared for their wedding on a tiny Greek island, and Sophie tries to figure out who of her mother Donna's 3 former suitors is the father she never knew. The original film ends with Sophie and Sky ultimately deciding not to tie the knot, choosing instead to travel together, while Donna, played by Meryl Streep, weds her long-lost love, Sam, played by Pierce Brosnan. Thursday's preview of the sequel shows Sophie telling Sky, "I've never felt this close to my mother," in the exact same place she was all those years ago. Only this time we know who the father is. Sky asks, "You're pregnant?" A happy Sophie responds, "Yeah, I am." There's no indication how long it has been since Sophie and Sky have seen each other or who is the father of her baby. Streep's Donna is seen in flashbacks in the trailer for the follow-up, but it is unclear if she is still alive. Her co-stars from the original, Brosnan, Colin Firth, Stellan Skarsgård, Christina Baranski, and Julie Walters are all seen in the present. Cher also makes an appearance as Sophie's stylish grandmother. Seyfried and Cooper dated in real life from 2008 to 2010. She is now married to actor Thomas Tedeschi and gave birth to their first child, a daughter, last year. Joel McHale says hundreds of viewings of Caddyshack and 6 years of co-starring with Chevy Chase on Community help him prepare to play Chase in a futile and stupid gesture. The film focuses on the rise and fall of trailblazing humorist Doug Kenny, the brilliant but troubled co-founder of National Lampoon magazine and one of Chase's closest friends, who died at the age of 33 when he fell off a cliff in Hawaii. Part of Gestures takes place during the filming of Caddyshack, which Kenny co-wrote with Harold Ramis and Brian Doyle Murray, and which Chase co-starred in with Bill Murray and Rodney Dangerfield. McHale told UPI in a phone interview Tuesday that recreating some of the most memorable moments from the much-beloved Caddyshack was actually quite stressful for him. The 46-year-old actor and comedian explained, "I must have watched it 500 times and rehearsed it alone over and over and over to make sure it would terrify me if it just kind of looked like it. I wanted to make sure that my every step and every move was exactly the same as Chase. It's obviously not what the movie is about, but it has to document those scenes which have become iconic. Chevy's performance in that movie is unbelievable in how good it is. I guess I went to the Don't Fuck It Up School of Acting." Chase was one of the first people McHale said he reached out to when director David Wayne offered him the role nearly 2 years ago. He says, "I called him and he was best friends with Doug Kenny. He was very happy that Doug was getting the due that he always deserved because Doug Kenny changed comedy in America forever, and I think Chev was really happy that that was happening. And then I called him last weekend and said the movie's done, and everyone is saying that it is really great and that Will Forte's portrayal of Doug is terrific." So, did Chase offer any guidance regarding how to play him? McHale replied, "I didn't call him to consult. It was very well documented that Doug and what the National Lampoon did in Animal House, which Kenny co-wrote with Ramos and Chris Miller, and Caddyshack, and there are literally thousands of hours of footage of Chevy as a young man, so that was all incredibly helpful, and the fact that I worked with him for 6 years was helpful." The decision to sign on to the project was not a difficult one for McHale. To make sense, the movie was about many of the comedy stars he grew up idolizing. Co-starring Dominic Gleeson, Matt Walsh, and Thomas Lennon, A Futile and Stupid Gesture will be available on Netflix Friday after debuting at the Sundance Film Festival. McHale's horror movie Assassination Nation also screened at the festival, and Netflix announced last week that he will star in hosting a weekly topical program called The Joe McHale Show with Joe McHale next month. Lisa Kudrow reacted to a Fake Friends movie trailer recently on Conan and detailed what her former co-star Courtney Cox thought of the film. And Kudrow said of Cox's reaction when host Conan O'Brien asked if the Friends cast discussed the fake trailer and whether or not it caused them to want to make an actual movie based on the classic series. Her response was, Courtney actually is the one who said, "Did you see that trailer? Oh my God, what do we do?" Kudrow continued about the trailer. "I don't know what to make of it. It's like sort of these weird clips from things that clearly have nothing to do with Friends. The fan-made trailer recently released has garnered millions of views and featured clips of the Friends cast meeting, again, by using footage from other shows such as Cougar Town." Kudrow said in response to O'Brien bringing up how the fake trailer has excited fans and how people continue to watch Friends, "Something should be done, I don't know what." She continued about a potential reunion. "They're rebooting everything, but I don't know how that will work with Friends." Kudrow said, "That was about people in their 20s, 30s. The show isn't about people in their 40s, 50s. If we have the same problems, that's just sad." Season 2 of Sneaky Pete, a crime dramedy co-created by Bryan Cranston, will be available for streaming via Amazon Prime Video on March 9th. The show is about a conman Maris who leaves prison and pretends to be his former cellmate Pete, even reunited with the other man's estranged family in an effort to dodge a gangster he once robbed. It stars Giovanni Ribisi, Jane Addams, Marin Ireland, Margot Martindale, Shane McRae, Lee Bearer, and Peter Garrity. Sharontel Ugato, the head of script series for Amazon Studios, said in a statement, after the tremendous critical and consumer reception in its first season, we are excited to debut another season of Sneak Pete. Graham Yost and his team have crafted a second season that really raises the stakes for Maris and everyone involved. The Shape of Water and 12 Strong actor Michael Shannon is to co-star with Florence Pugh and Alexander Skarsgård in the 6-part miniseries The Little Drummer Girl. The project is set in the 1970s and marks director Park Chan-wook's television debut. Based on the spy novel of the same name by John Leclerc, the program is to air on the BBC in the United Kingdom and AMC in the United States. Park Chan-wook said in a statement, "The first time I saw Michael was as one of the genius actors who delivered a wonderful performance in Revolutionary Road, and ever since I remained his loyal fan. I believe Michael will make the perfect Kurtz, a man scarred by history and carrying burdens all too heavy on his shoulders, an Israeli Captain Ahab obsessed by his biggest and most elusive nemesis yet." A synopsis says the miniseries is about what happens when brilliant young actor Charlie strikes up an acquaintance with an intriguing stranger while on a holiday in Greece, but it rapidly becomes apparent that his intentions are far from romantic. The man is Becker, an Israeli intelligence officer who entangles her in a complex and high-stakes plot orchestrated by Israeli spy master Kurtz. Shannon's other credits include Waco, Loving, Midnight Special, Man of Steel, Elvis and Nixon, and Nocturnal Animals. Actor Casey Affleck has withdrawn from consideration to present at this year's Academy Awards ceremony. Affleck noted the Academy Thursday he won't be attending the ceremony to present the Oscar for Best Actress, saying he didn't want to distract from the performances of the actresses in the category, Deadline Hollywood reported. The 42-year-old actor won the Best Actor Oscar in 2017 for his performance in Manchester by the Sea. Oscar tradition dictates that the Best Actor winner from the previous year's ceremony presents the Best Actress trophy, while the Best Actress winner presents Best Actor. Affleck was sued by 2 women for allegedly sexually harassing them on the set of I'm Still Here in 2010. He denied the charges, and the suit were later settled out of court and dismissed. Some have begun to criticize the possibility of Affleck presenting the award amid the #MeToo movement in Hollywood featuring victims of sexual abuse speaking out against their harassers. A representative for the Academy issued a statement commending Affleck's decision to withdraw from the show. The representative said, "We appreciate the decision to keep the focus on the show and the great work of this year." Harvard's all-male Hasty Pudding Theatricals group honored actress Mila Kunis at its 2018 Woman of the Year on Thursday. The Bad Mom star and that '70s show alum was paraded down the street of Cambridge, Massachusetts in a Bentley convertible, surrounded by members of the Ivy League theatrical group Dress in Drag. Following the parade, Kunis took part in a roast by the club's members and was presented with the pudding pop as the 68th recipient of the honor. The celebration was met with protests as some called for Kunis to deny the award, boycotting the event, or speaking out against Hasting Pudding's policy of excluding female performers. Women held signs reading, "Take your misogyny and shove it up your fark ass," and "The patriarchy is a drag," in reference to the club's tradition of featuring male performers in drag. The Hasting Pudding Theatrics, founded in 1795, is the oldest collegiate theater group in the United States and says its long-standing tradition of casting men and in women's roles is an artistic decision. The group's website says men in women's roles is the Hasty Pudding's artistic trademark, and its artistic merit comes from the fact that it challenges the traditional perceptions of masculinity. The brand of parody and satire is what make the pudding unique. Women on campus have auditioned for the group 3 times in recent years, and none ever received a callback, according to the Harvard Crimson. Following the ceremony for Kunis, Pudding president Amira T. Weeks said the group would permit women to audition in 2019. Weeks said, with no further fanfare, the graduate board of the Hasty Pudding Institute has determined that commencing with the 2019 Hasting Pudding show, the Hasting Pudding welcomes women to audition. Oprah Winfrey says she will have no plans to run for president. The 63-year-old media mogul said in the March issue of In Style that she doesn't have the DNA for a 2020 presidential campaign. Winfrey told the magazine, "I've always felt very secure and confident with myself in knowing what I could do and what I could not do. And so it's not something that interests me. I don't have the DNA for it." She added, "I met with someone the other day who said that they would help me with a campaign." Many called for Winfrey to run for the presidency following her speech at the Golden Globe Awards this month. Winfrey, who spoke to In Style, said prior to the awards show, said her best friend Gayle King had also brought up the prospect. The star shared, "Gayle, who knows me as well as I know myself practically, has been calling me regularly and texting me things like a woman in the airport saying, 'When is Oprah going to run?'" And she says, "So Gayle sends me these things, and then she'll go, I know. It wouldn't be good for you. It would be good for everyone else." Winfrey previously told the Hollywood Reporter that she will never run for public office. She said she will consequently never have to know the answer, as she would beat President Donald Trump if he seeks a second term. Kim Kardashian won't be having baby number 4 anytime soon. The 37-year-old reality star spoke out Wednesday to shut down reports she asked her surrogate to carry another child following daughter Chicago West's birth this month. She tweeted alongside a headline, "Fake news," that claimed Kardashian, quote, already asked her gestational carrier if she wants to carry another baby. People reported earlier in the day that Kardashian and husband Kanye West were eager to welcome a 4th child. The couple shared Chicago, 2-year-old son Saint, and 4-year-old daughter North. A source says even before Chicago was born, Kim was talking about asking the surrogate to carry her next baby. She's so happy with the whole process and thrilled with the surrogate. The insider added, Kim definitely wants more kids. She is so happy being a family of 5. She wants the family to get even bigger. Us Weekly said Kardashian and West had spoken to their surrogate about the possibility of another child. A source says they asked the surrogate if she'd be willing to have another child for them if they decided to do it. Kardashian and West welcomed Chicago via surrogate January 15th. The reality star has yet to share a photo of the infant, but posted several pictures with Saint using Snapchat filters Tuesday. Blackish star Marisa Martin has been cast in an upcoming comedy from Universal titled Little. Martin, who's 13, will also be executive producing the project after coming up with the idea for the script, noted the Hollywood Reporter. Little will follow an adult woman who gets a chance to relive her carefree childhood days as her younger self after being overwhelmed by the pressures of adulthood, Variety reported. People's writer and director Tina Gordon Chisholm is attached to helm the film and has written a new draft of the script that was originally penned by Girls Trip writer Tracy Oliver. Blackish creator Kenya Barris is producing along with Girls Trip producer Will Packer and James Lopez. Girls Trip star Regina Hall and Josh Martin are also executive producing. Martin has starred alongside Anthony Anderson and Tracy Ellis Ross on ABC's Blackish for 4 seasons. The actress previously appeared in Amazon's An American Girl Story, Melody 1963, Love Has to Win. Kay Couric is honoring late husband Jay Monahan. The 61-year-old television personality paid tribute to Monahan in an Instagram post Wednesday on the 20th anniversary of his death. Couric shared a throwback photo of Monahan with one of their daughters. The pair are parents to 26-year-old Ellie and 22-year-old Caroline. Kerr captioned the picture, Jay Monahan, January 9th, 1956 to January 24th, 1998, 20 years ago today, we miss you. Monahan died of colon cancer at the age of 42. Kerr, whose sister also died of cancer, subsequently co-founded the Stand Up for Two Cancer program, the National Colorectal Cancer Research Alliance, and the Jay Monahan Center for Gastrointestinal Health. Couric said in an interview with People in 2015, I hope he would think that the work that I'm doing, whether it's in colon cancers or in other cancers, to save future Jay Monahans from experiencing the same fate that he did, is worthwhile and important. Couric told the magazine her second husband, John Moliner, has been incredibly supportive of her work with cancer organizations. She and the financier married in June 2014 after 3 years of dating. Tony Bennett, Dave Chappelle, Kelly Clarkson, Victor Cruz, Eve, Jim Gaffigan, and Katie Holmes have been added to the list of presenters for Sunday's 60th Annual Grammy Awards ceremony in New York. Also expected to hand out trophies at the gala at Madison Square Garden are Nick Jonas, Anna Kendrick, Alicia Keys, John Legend, Shamar Moore, Trevor Noah, Sarah Silverman, Haley Steinfeld, and Donnie Wahlberg. The show, which is to air on CBS with James Corden as host, will feature performances from Jon Batiste, Brothers Osborne, Alicia Cara, Cardi B, Childish Gambino, Eric Church, Gary Clark Jr., Miley Cyrus, Daddy Yankee, DJ Khaled, Luis Fonsi, Emmylou Harris, Elton John, Kesha, Khalid, Lady Gaga, Kendrick Lamar, Little Big Town, Logic, Patti LuPone, Bruno Mars, Maren Morris, Pink, Ben Platt, Rihanna, Zuleika Rivera, Sam Smith, Chris Stapleton, Sting, SZA, Brian Tidler, and U2. Country music star Reba McEntire is the latest celebrity to play Colonel Sanders in a Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial. The fast food company tweeted Thursday a photo of McEntire sitting at a dressing room table with the photo of the KFC spokesman on one side of her and a mannequin head holding the Colonel's signature white hair and mustache and glasses and black string tie on the other. The chain later shared a minute-long ad for its Smoky Mountain barbecue chicken, showing McEntire as the Colonel singing in a country western saloon. Among the lyrics he croons are, I'm Colonel Sanders, same as always, absolutely nothing's changed, please ignore any likeness to famous country singers, I'm definitely not a woman. McEntire, dressed as herself, is also seen at a table enjoying the show. Ray Liotta, Rob Riggle, Rob Lowe, Norm Macdonald, Billy Zane, and Daryl Hammond have also played the Colonel in recent ads. Sting and Shaggy have released the first single from their upcoming joint album 44/876 titled Don't Make Me Wait. Sting sings on the track that was released on Wednesday, Don't Make Me Wait to love you. The pair recently discussed the song in their upcoming collaborative album with Rolling Stone, and Shaggy mentioned that he thinks Don't Make Me Wait sounds like something that hundreds of women would get pregnant to. Sting says, the most important thing to me in any kind of music is surprise. He said about joining forces with Shaggy, who is best known for a number of hits, including Wasn't Me, Angel, and Boombastic, among others. The music icon continued, and everybody's surprised by this collaboration. By what they're hearing, we're surprised. The joint album is set for release on April 20th. Leonard Skinner has announced the final dates of their Street Survivors Farewell Tour that begins its final portion this summer. The band will be performing May 4th at the Coral Sky Amphitheater in West Palm Beach, Florida, before wrapping everything up September 1st at the Cellular Amphitheater in Lakewood in Atlanta. Leonard Skinner will also be making stops in cities such as Dallas, Houston, Phoenix, Cleveland, Detroit, Toronto, and St. Louis, among others. Tickets go on sale starting February 2nd at 10 a.m. local time through Live Nation. However, tickets for the July 20th show in Mansfield, Massachusetts goes on sale at 11 a.m. Local time, and tickets for the August 10th show in Detroit go on sale February 3rd at 10 a.m. local time. A pre-sale will be available at city car holders from January 30th at 10 a.m. local time until February 1st at 10 a.m. local time. The tour will also feature special guests on selected dates such as Kid Rock, Hank Williams Jr., Bad Company, Charlie Daniels Band, the Marshall Tucker Band, 38 Special, Blackberry Smoke, and Blackfoot. Leonard Skinner, whose first album was released in 1973, had featured a different lineup after frontman Ronnie Van Zant, guitarist Steve Gaines, and backup singer Cassie Gaines, and more died in a 1977 plane crash. Ronnie's brother Johnny Van Zandt has served as the leader since 1987 and has played with the original guitarist Gary Rosenthal and guitarist Ricky Medlock, who were a part of the band in the 70s. Leonard Skinner's last album, Last of a Dying Breed, was released in 2012. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1934, Sam Goldwyn buys the rights to The Wizard of Oz. One of America's best beloved movie projects gets underway on this day in 1934 when the producer Samuel Goldwyn buys the film rights to the children's novel The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. Published in 1900, Baum's novel told the story of Dorothy, a young girl on a Kansas farm who was swept away by a tornado and carried to the magical land of Oz. Baum, who died in 1919, based his book on the fairy tales of the Brothers Grimm and Hans Christian Andersen, and also drew inspiration from Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. His own work of children's literature became an instant classic, was translated into some 40 languages, and spawned numerous sequels. Baum's widow, Maud, allowed another writer to continue the series after her husband's death in 1919, and adaptations, including a long-running Broadway musical that debuted in 1903 and several silent films. The most famous adaptation, however, would be Goldwyn's film version of The Wizard of Oz, which was finally released in 1939. Goldwyn hired, supposedly intended for Shirley Temple to play the part of Dorothy, but the role went to 17-year-old Judy Garland instead, and it would catapult her into international stardom. The film followed Dorothy and her terrier, Toto, from the Kansas home they shared with her aunt and uncle to Oz, and their journey along the yellow brick road. Along the way, she encounters a series of colorful characters, including the Tin Man, who needs a heart, the Cowardly Lion, who lacks courage, and whose costume was made of 2 real lion skins, and the Scarecrow, who needs a brain. Other key characters were the Munchkins, Glinda the Good Witch of the North, and the Wicked Witch of the West. The Kansas scenes were filmed in black and white, but the rest of the movie was made in Technicolor, a relatively new process at the time. Production of The Wizard of Oz was plagued with problems, from numerous script rewrites to casting and directorial changes. After the original director, Richard Thorpe, was fired, Victor Fleming stepped into taking over the director's role from George Cukor, who left to helm David O. Selznick's Civil War epic Gone with the Wind, a job which, ironically, Fleming would later replace him in. When Fleming left, Kim Vidor stepped in to replace him. Despite these changing, Fleming received the main director's credit from the movie. Another stumbling block occurred when Buddy Epson, the original Tin Man, got sick from a reaction to the aluminum makeup he was forced to wear. He was replaced by Jack Haley. In the end, the 101-minute-long film had moderate success at the box office and earned 7 nominations for the Oscars, including a Best Song win for Somewhere Over the Rainbow and a special award to Garland as Best Juvenile Performer. In 1956, an estimated 45 million people tuned in to watch the movie debut on television as part of the Ford Star Jubilee. Countless TV showings later, The Wizard of Oz is one of the most beloved and best-known films of all time. The Wizard of Oz spawned 2 sequels, including Journey Back to the Oz in 1974, an animated film featuring the voice of Garland's daughter, Liza Minnelli, and Return to Oz in 1985. An all-African-American remake, The Wiz, in 1978, starring Diana Ross and Michael Jackson, had music arranged and conducted by Quincy Jones. In 1998, The Wizard of Oz ranked 6th in the American Film Institute's poll of America's 100 greatest movies. In a measure of its enduring success, Wizard of Oz fan clubs still exist today, more than a century after the book's first publication. And as your entertainment report for Friday, January 26, 2018, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back on Monday to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Everyone have a great weekend. Good night, and God bless you all.